Hi, Megan. How you doing? Okay, got your work up. Now, the first thing I notice is that you've only submitted one logo rough, but if we take a look over here in module two, you'll submit three logo rough designs. So you only got one here. So I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do. I'll critique this and we'll talk about it, and I'll grade it as 1 out of 3, and then I'll be glad to adjust your grade when you submit the other two. Okay, sound fair? So in other words, I'll give you a 30 out of 90, and then you'll get the other points when you submit the other two logo variations. Plus, try to do that soon. So what you want to do is you want to take your logo and get it near completion so that you can post it to this week's discussion board where we talk about peer critique. Okay, so the first thing I want to mention is that I'm glad that from week one we talked about that online persona, and I'm glad. Remember, I said I said I would recommend using your proper name, because this way you're identifying yourself with your mark. So I'm glad you elected to do so. That was a good move. I would take that a step further and say, whatever you design your logo as Megan Vowell, graphic designer, you indicated you're getting your bachelor's in graphic design, and that's a huge accomplishment. So let's promote that. Let's brand that. Let's push that. Okay, you can apply anywhere in the world with this degree. So let's get that out there first and foremost, and that would be my recommendation. Now, if you want to go with a logo that just has your name, that's great, but I would add graphic designer or graphic design. Megan Vowell graphic design. Okay, whoops. Sorry. And then that I would definitely do that. Now, or you could actually say MV, create a monogram MV, and then attach your name to it. That's a wonderful way to brand yourself as a student designer, because it shows objectivity and it shows really a nice versatile approach, because you're not painting yourself into a corner by using something that would indicate anything other than the fact that you are indeed a graphic designer. Okay, that's why okay, for example, let's take this. Okay, this paint blotch that was, let me see, hang on one second. Yeah, you created this in Photoshop. I believe you did include the PSD with that. Yeah, you did. And there is, okay, so, yeah, so this is a PSD. Now, the reason we don't create logos in PSD in Photoshop is I'm going to show you. Let's zoom in here and let's see what happens and see how it falls apart. And that's going to happen in print, and that's just the nature of raster graphics. That's why we never create logos in Photoshop. So I would recommend moving forward in Illustrator. At any rate, so this I think is pointing in a wrong direction. Not, I mean, literally, it's pointing away from your name, which is taking the eye away from your name immediately before the viewer even looks at it. They're immediately drawn away from your name. I would reconsider that. The paintbrush and the splatter indicates something other than Megan Vowell, graphic designer. It indicates fine art. So I definitely would rethink that visual approach as well. Okay, so that would be my recommendation. As I said, we are submitting to peer critique this week in discussion board. So try to get your logo as near to completion as you possibly can. If there's anything you want to run by me between now and then, please feel free. I'll be glad to comment. But at any rate, as I said, so this is 1 out of 3 logos. I'll grade it as such, and then I'll adjust your grade when you resubmit. Okay, just let me know when you do so. Any questions, give me a holler, Megan. Thank you.